Hi everyone. In today's class, we'll see brief overview on Express framework. This Express framework is an framework uh, which was developed and maintained by the Node.js organization, which is completely a open source framework. Okay, it has some kind of various kind of advantages which we compared with the Node.js, actual Node.js. Okay, fine. For example, uh, if you are using the concept of Express framework, we no need to bother about all the kind of low level protocols. Low level protocol. Like for example, if you are using simply the Node.js, we need to create server manually by ourselves. So to create the server, we have to use a method called create server method. Create server method. Like this, we have to write our own code uh, in order to do some kind of requirements. Whereas coming to this Express framework, it is an extension to Node.js, so it's not exactly extension. It's a kind of framework to the Node.js. That framework we call the Express framework. Here, all the low-level protocols are directly implemented. Directly implemented. Okay, and also with the help of this Express framework, we can able to set up various kind of middlewares, so that these middlewares will respond to various kind of HTTP request. And also with the help of this Express framework, we can able to define some kind of routing table. Routing table. So what is the purpose of this routing table? Like if you observe in computer networks, there is a kind of routing table. Like for example, if I got some kind of input from for so and so 127.1.1.0, it will be route to this particular location. Like if you assume simply it's a kind of a junction where the people wants to traverse from here to this location. He will come to this side and he will like so. uh, it is with the help of this Express framework we can able to define a routing table which is used for to perform different kind of actions based upon the HTTP methods that user is using. Like various kind of methods are there: get method, post method, put method, delete method. Based on the type of method, it is going to route the corresponding to the corresponding action. Okay, and also it is going to allow dynamically rendering of HTML web pages. Of HTML pages based upon the type of arguments we are passing. Based on the type of arguments we are passing. Okay, these are the main features of this Express framework. Okay, so once I take an example, which will cover these points, so that will get clear idea. And also one more thing is this Express framework support various kind of plugins, and all these plugins I can able to install with the help of npm. Plugins means we can call in my terminology we are calling it as modules. Various kind of plugins are available. All those plugins are going to supported by this Express framework. Okay, fine. So if you simply saying that why we need Express framework means, it is simply an easy, robust, and quick way of setting of APIs. APIs. So what does API means? It's a kind of application programming interface. Application programming interface. Amma. So for example, there is an application called A, which was implemented in a platform called Java, and there is an application called B, which was implemented in a platform called .NET. If these two wants to communicate, yes, these two are from different kind of languages. If these wants to communicate, they can't communicate directly. They can communicate with an API. They can communicate with an API. So that kind of thing we can able to do with the help of this Express framework. And as I said, various kind of plugins are available. It is more flexible and pluggable. Okay, and if you observe some kind of frameworks, those frameworks are going to enforce us to define or to use a particular kind of structure. Whereas coming to Express framework, we no need to use any kind of structure. We no need to use specific structure. I hope you understood. For example, let me take, there is a framework called JK framework. I am enforcing the user to define the structures like this. Define the folder should be in this format. All the HTML files should be in this third level. All the JavaScript files should be in this second level, like that. I'm going to enforce some kind of structure. Whereas coming to this Express framework, why we no need to use any kind of specific structure. It is always up to the developer point how we are going to place that code. Okay, na? Fine. So this is all about the basic introduction about the Express framework. Okay, fine. So what my terminology finally, the main use of this Express framework is we can able to set up the middlewares so that these middlewares can able to respond to various kind of user requests. That request will be always come in the form of HTTP, right? Yes. And also based upon the type of method user is requesting, we can able to route that data. And also based upon the type of argument that we are passing, based on that we can able to render dynamically various kind of HTML web pages. And it will support various kind of plugins so that we can able to implement more features for our application. Okay. So if you would like to install, if you would like to uh, work with this Express framework, we have a module called Express module, which should be imported to our project. Should be imported to our project. So how we are going to install this Express framework? By using npm. So Express is not a core module. We have to build from the external side. Npm space install space Express. If you want, you can go for save with the, so it will be loading the package.json also. Or I can go with the npm space I space Express space double hyphen save. Double hyphen save. Yes. Okay, na guys? Yes. Fine. So first, let me open my editor. I open my editor. I'm trying to save this one as I think where I have opened E Node.js folder. I'm taking the file name as main.js here. Before going to write the code, first what you have to do, you have to import Express module. Is the Express module is a kind of core module? Is it come with along with the installation? No. Along with the installation, no. So we can't get this Express module directly to our project. So for that, what you have to do, you have to install that explicitly. So to make it installation, we need to open the command prompt and we need to go for taking, like you already know, like to make it install, to make any kind of module installation, we require npm. So I'm going to check whether npm is installed or not. So if I got any kind of version, we the npm is the corresponding node is installed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 1 minute. Let me take okay, no problem. Let me take in the same module only. I am going to give once again init command. What is the purpose of init command? I am going to define various kind of dependencies. So what is the package name? Package name is express.jk. Express.jk project. What is the version? 1 point. Let me take 0.2. Description. JK Express basic uh, idea of programming. programming. Entry point I am not defining. Text command I am not defining. Git repository I am not defining. Keywords as JK and author as I'm making it as some J Krishna. License I am taking default one. Yes. Are you sure would like to proceed? Yes. Click on yes. If you open this package.json, observe guys. 1 minute. Actually, what I did is I made this at documents. I think users C drive. I think users triple ITS. I think it has installed somewhere. Yes, observe guys. Here it has installed. Why it has occurred here? Because I didn't change the path. I didn't change the path. I have worked this command at the C users triple ITS folder. So actually, I need to go for E drive. E drive CD space Node.js. Now I'm going for once again npm space init command. Okay, fine. So again, it is asking uh, Express JK project version 1.0.2. What is Git repository? Nothing. For example, license, not giving anything. Yes. Guys, you can observe. Now, the what is the project name? Express JK project version 1.0.2, and it has some description, the main module, and all those things that it is going to give. If you would like to continue, yes, yes, click on yes. Now, if we open this editor, automatically it will be updated. Updated. See, guys, I have already installed Express framework. Already installed Express framework. So, for installation of Express framework, what you are going to do? We are going to use the command called npm space I space express double hyphen C. If I click once again, it is existed. It is going to check for installation. Yes, observe. It is existed already. Yes, I have successfully installed my Express framework. Okay. Now it is our turn to write the program. So now if I am trying to import this Express framework, yes, already Express framework is Express module is already installed. So there is we won't get any kind of error. Won't get any kind of error. Yes. So what is the purpose of this line? The purpose of this line is to import Express in our file. Put Express in our file. Next step is we have to instantiate our app. We have to instantiate our app. How we are going to do that means by using that Express. Okay. So with this statement, what I can say is we need to initiate the app using Express framework. We need to initiate the app using Express framework. Yes. Once the Express framework is initiated, next step is what you have to do is we have to use that object. Through that object, I have to call the specific HTTP method. The specific HTTP method. So, what is the purpose of this HTTP method means? It is going to execute whenever the corresponding request is raised for the corresponding route. Corresponding route. Yes, for example, the first path is by default one, and it having a callback function of request comma response request comma response, and I would like to send that response as a text file. Welcome to Express framework. Welcome to Express framework. Yes, guys. Okay, now fine. Now, so I have see you need to write here specifically create server method all those things. because the express framework will automatically take care of the low level uh, all those things, all those low level protocols. Now I would like to make it a listen method for the purpose of what, for the purpose of defining listening of port number. Okay, Namma? Fine. Now, so what does it mean, ma? So whenever you are going to request from through the get method to get some data with a default URL, then it is going to call welcome to Express Framework. Express Framework, yes. So I am going to save this program and I am trying to run node space main.js. Okay, fine. If I go for here and I am going to call localhost. What is the port number? My port number is 3000. Observe. Welcome to Express Framework. You are getting or not? Yes. But in the previous class, what we did? We have written a method like create server method, all those things, and response dot write header, response dot write, response dot end, all those things we did. But right now, it is going to take care of all those things. Yes. Guys, here we are getting directly calling this one because of here it has like writing like this also the same meaning. Am I right or not? Yes. So this is what we call it as routing. What we call it as routing. For example, I am going to write once again app.get off. For example, my route is Jaya. So meaning that whenever I am getting some kind of request, some kind of a HTTP request through Jaya URL, then I can go for calling this one function of request comma respond. Respond dot send off. I'm calling my own name. My own name. Yes, guys. So to make it clear here for understandability, I'm writing like yesterday's class. Port number is 3000, and I'm calling a callback function with, for example, console dot log off server started at port 3000. I'm going to exit from the current execution. And I'm server started at port 3000. I'm trying to refresh. Welcome to Express Framework. If I give the URL as Jaya, you'll get the different answer. So this is what we are calling as routing. So this is what we are calling as routing table based on the type. Like for example, if I am getting through if I am getting it through what, uh, header. If I am getting it through header, through URL part, so URL part we will call it as get. Through body part we call it as post. So especially post is meant for creation purpose. Post is meant for creation purpose. Get is meant for to send the data. To get the data, we are going to use the get method. Get method. If I am going to write something like one more type of URL, app.get of CSC. Welcome to CSC branch. To CSC branch. I'm going to once again restart the server by exit from the current execution. Here I'm passing as CS. Observe, welcome to CSC. So based on the type of request that you are passing, it is going to execute the corresponding thing. Execute the corresponding thing. Okay, fine. Similarly, there is one more thing is there for this Express framework. If you would like to execute uh, all the static files, I can able to store at a separate location, and through the middleware, I can able to use those. So, for example, uh, through that middleware means I have to use. Let me write here. So it is little bit confusing maybe. So actually, in order to serve various kind of static files like images, all the CSS files, JavaScript files. We can use a built-in Express static middleware. That thing we call it as 1 minute. 1 minute. That is Express dot static method. Express dot static method, which is meant for to serve all the static files in the Express framework. Okay. Fine. So how we are going to do that means, so generally for those middlewares, I'm going to use method, use method of express dot static method, dot static method. See, one thing here through the static method, what you have to pass means you have to pass the all the static files folder. For example, my static files folder is Krishna. Generally they are making it as a public so that everybody will understand. So those are all static files which will be common for all the people. So what we can do is I'm going to create one folder here. Click on new folder. I'm going to folder name as public. I open this. Here we have a folder name as public. There is a folder called public. Okay, so in this public folder I would like to create one kind of HTML file. Mm, for example, new file I'm calling as control s, something like first dot html, first dot html first express program. First express program. Okay, fine. So what will happen is whenever we are going to place all the static files in a one particular folder, if you you can call them directly also. You can call them directly. For example, what is the file name? First.html. I can simply write here as first.html. So here I think you are cannot get it. Start first.html. Yes, I think we didn't start at the server on second. Now you will get the answer. First express poker. Like this you will get. I hope you understood, guys. Yeah. So not only this one, for example, I am trying to place some kind of file. If I open this and I am going to create one more file. Let me take new file, j new file, control s, jk dot html, jk dot html, html. I don't bother about this. H1 style equal to background color equal to yellow. Background color equal to yellow. Second program to static method of test framework. Perfect. Now what we can do here? We can simply pause. See, I would like to restart my server. Actually, uh, so instead of restarting your server every time, we can able to install NodeMon processor, NodeMon module, so that you don't need to refresh the server every time. Not space main. Here I can simply write jk.html. Second program through static method of express framework. Yes. For example, guys, in this folder, I am going to place my own project. I'm going to place my project. For example, my project is at E drive subjects GKT CSS. I think I have home directory, smile symbol, all these are available there. Okay, I'm going to copy all this. I'm going to paste at the folder, this public folder. Public folder. Now, guys, I am going to once again. Now, what I will do is I am going to call the home.html. So home.html file is there. Yes. All will be loaded. All will be loaded in my server. So when we are going to place all this in this static folder called public, if you would like to make them as static files, make them as static files, and you would like to load through a particular URL, then you can go for placing like that. Okay, Namma, fine. So this way you can able to get the data, meaning that up to now what I have explained is I can able to load a corresponding route through the corresponding URL directly, to the corresponding URL directly, or I can able to load it through a kind of middleware, load a kind of middleware, or if you want to get through some kind of form data, you can able to get it. For example, uh, what I can do is like for example, I have a HTML file. For example, control N. I'm going to save it as login.html. Login.html, and I'm trying to create one thing. Login form. So we're going to create forms, guys. Form. I'm going to give action attribute, which you know, right? Whenever there's a clicks on the submit button, where I need to go. So my method name is get method. Name is get method. I'm going to close my form. I'm going to enter the first name. So to accept the input, input type equal to text. Name as I'm giving as something like first. I'm taking it as FN instead of taking large names. Second name, input type equal to text. Name as SN. I have created one particular file. Okay, and whenever user clicks on this submit button, like for example, input type equal to submit. I can name this as value equal to submit. Value equal to submit. Yes, guys, this login.html is available in which location? Try to observe that. Login.html is available in this particular location. I didn't redact, so I'm going to cut here. I'm going to make it in public folder so that I can directly access that. I'm going to replace, yes. Now I saved it in directly public folder. So if I am going to save it directly, what I can do, I can simply access as login.html. I got it or not? Yes, I got my form. Now what my requirement is, whenever I'm going to click the first name and the second name, and if I click submit button, I need to display the data. And display the data. So for to display the data, what you require? We need a kind of middleware. Need to have a middleware. That middleware need to handle that data. Middleware need to handle the data. That thing also we can do. For example, so you are getting the data through get method, right? Get method. And what is the URL that you need to have? That URL you need to define. And I'm going to have a callback function. Request comma response. Request comma response. Here guys you can observe whenever user clicks on submit button, where I need to send the data. Have you observed that? I need to send the data to the local server. What is the local IP address? 127.0.0.1. Colon. What is the port number I have taken? 3000. And in that, for which route I need to send the data? For example, process underscore get method. Get route. For example, I can able to take anything. For example, I would like to route through process underscore get. So that thing I can define here. Have you observed that? So whenever user clicks on submit button, it is going to route through the local host of process underscore get method. Process underscore get method. Yes, once the corresponding request comes to this particular location, what we need to do is we need to take that data. So how we are going to get the data? That data will be available in the form of a request object format. In that, through query attribute, and the value is first name. Request dot query dot second name. For that second name. Yes, for example, I am taking in the as first underscore name variable. Yes, guys. So I am going to save in the form of an object, in the form of like, uh, yes, I'm going to save in the form of name value pairs. So what I can do is first underscore name column, second underscore name column. This entire thing I'm going to assign it to as some kind of name as response. Response equal to. Yes, I have saved my data. Now what I can do is I'm going to load this data to the console. Console dot log of, simply I'm passing response, so that this response will be loaded in the corresponding location. Okay, and finally I would like to end my response by simply displaying the data with the help of this JSON dot stringify of response. So what is the purpose of this stringify method means? So actually we got the data in the form of an object, JavaScript object. So that I need to convert into a JSON string format. So what is the purpose of JSON string format? See guys, so nowadays every API is going to get the data in the form of a JSON format, or it is going to get in the form of an XML format. That is the reason I'm trying to export the data in the form of JSON format. So whatever the data that I'm getting in the form of object, that I'm going to convert into a kind of JSON format. So for JSON string format, that is why I'm using JSON.stringify method. So whatever the input that is given by the user first name and second name, that I have taken as a kind of object. That object name is response, that I have converted through stringify method. Through stringify method, yes. Okay, fine. That's it. So I am going to restart my server. We got some kind of mistake. Right, guys? Have you observed? So while writing object, how we are going to do it? Should be like this. Should be name value pairs, kadama. Server started at port 3000. What is the function? What is the file name? Login.html. I'm going to call JK. Click on submit. It is going to get the data or not? Yes. So what is the structure of JSON format? I hope you already know. They are in the form of name value pairs, and the data, the same data is going to display here also. First name JK, second name J Krishna. What are the name that you are going to get? Login.html Krishna CS. Click on submit. Why it is taking that much time? 127 dot, yes. Okay, I'm trying to stop my server. See, observe guys. Here you got the data, right? I refreshed that actually. First name is Krishna and second name is CS. Like this, you can able to get the data. For example, I would like to store this data in the form of a database. I would like to store the response that I got can be stored in the form of a database, or I can store in the form of a file. As you don't know the concepts of database, I will try to store in the form of a file. Right, guys? How we are going to store in a file? By simply using a method called write file method, which is available in which one? Which is available in file system core module. core module. So how we are going to get that? So first I need to import that file system core module. So for that, what I can do, where fs equal to require of file system core module. So what did I need to send it to the server to write to the file ma? So whatever the data that is available in the response object that I need to do. So for that, what I can do is, so after writing into the console, I am going to open. I am going to write into the file by using write file method. And what is the file name? For example, my file name is data.txt. See guys, there is no data.txt file. And what about the second parameter? The second parameter is the type of data that you need to write. Like if I write like hello world, that will be stored in data.txt, right? So, but here right now, what did I need to do? I need to take the response to the corresponding file. And the third parameter is a kind of function. If there is any kind of thing, if there is any error, I simply throw that error. Throw that error. And finally, in the console, I am going to display success messages. Successfully written. Now I'm going to restart my server. Server started at port 3000. I'm refreshing once again login.html. The name is JK. Name is CSC. If I submit, data argument must be type of string or instance of buffer. Yes, guys. Here there is a small mistake. So this data is actually what? What data? It is an object data. Object data can't able to write directly into the file. So what I can do is I can write a JSON data into the file. So that's the reason. Before going to pass directly object into the file, I will first convert into a string format of JSON format. I can store into the file. Now I will once again exit. Once again restart server. Login.html, JK, CSC. You can't submit. Yes. Here you got the data. In the same way, in the console also we got the data as well as successfully written. If you go for the folder, there is a file called data.txt. If you open that, that same data have written. If you want to parse this data, we can able to parse the JSON data or not. Yes, we can able to parse the data. So this is the way we can able to use Express framework in your real time. Okay, na guys. So this is just a brief description. That's it. So I hope you understood this concept clearly. Thank you.